I'm burnt out. And now I've made a decision, one that I'm not taking lightly, one that I've been sitting on for quite some time. I've decided to quit. We've been on the road for nearly 5 months now, living out of this 75 square foot home. We've been up and down the East Coast, through the Midwest into the mountains of Colorado, and put our toes in the sand of the Pacific Ocean. We made it back to the East Coast, spending the holidays with our family, and crossed the bayou into Texas. And now I found myself here on the beach of Corpus Christi, a shoreline that is part of the National Park System, a place you can stay right on the sand for 14 days, a place with no signal, a place where my nervous system had no choice but to reset. And once I felt like I could breathe again, it was like I could hear myself for the first time in years.
It's quite cold, but well worth it to wake up and see this. Oh my gosh. Who'd have thunk that this would be in Texas?
I struggled for a long time with anxiety, along with many other mental health issues, but the anxiety over the last few years has seemed to have only gotten worse. After we bought our house in the suburbs of Greenville, South Carolina, I went to work. I started on all of these DIY projects. I tried growing a garden in the backyard, to which I only ever grew butternut squash. We adopted a second dog, and I began progressing more at my job, one that requires working remotely 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, behind a screen by myself. Each paycheck accrued a few more hours of paid time off to eventually take a vacation. And while travel used to be a part of our lives so much more, it eventually turned into our one trip a year we could afford to take because most of our money was tied up in bills and the mortgage. I couldn't place my finger on it. I thought I was doing everything right, and yet still my anxiety continued growing. I became incredibly depressed. And all I knew was that I had to put my best foot forward and make sure the rest of the world saw me as well put together. But towards the end of August, I was faced with a very difficult decision. My life had come to a crossroads, and I had two very distinct choices that I think many of us face at some point in our lives. I could continue following the path I was on, or I could forge a new one. One I still didn't have a clear picture of what it would look like, but knew deep in my core would have to be something entirely different. So I chose the latter.
I don't always feel like I'm doing the right thing. I always feel like I'm second guessing what I'm doing. I mean, then you find yourself in situations like this where even though you're second guessing yourself, you get to watch the sunrise on a beach. I wish I had more clarity. I wish I had more answers in life and decision making and what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to do next, but I've always been a person who just wings it. I guess it's just what I gotta keep doing.
I'm learning in therapy that our brains thrive on what we believe is familiar and consistent. And for most of us, what we find familiar and consistent is a life that has been created around the hustle. The need to produce, to earn more money, to buy more things, to get bigger houses and nicer cars, to climb the corporate ladder, even if it means taking time away from our family, going against what you believe might be right and true, causing you to make decisions that are unlike the person you want to be. This need for more causes us to become stingy and to forget what it truly means to live in community.
So we just did a little walk beach cleanup. They had bags by the restrooms up there to be able to do our part while we're hanging out, and we did. We each got a bag full. There's still so much. I would say this really puts a lot into perspective, that's for sure. 2 bags of this stuff. The sun is coming out. It's beautiful. I'm gonna put my bathing suit on and get a little sunshine, and it's gonna be great. Can't wait.
And social media doesn't help this cause. It only aids in isolating ourselves, to glance at our phones rather than pick up our heads and make eye contact and say hello. We've forgotten how to lend a helping hand to our siblings in need. Instead, we curate a life that looks far beyond what is happening in real time. Aesthetically perfect photos depicting the happiest, best versions of ourselves rather than showing what is true. And truth is what ignites connection, something we all so desperately need. But if we do not attain these lofty goals society has set for us, then we must therefore be failures, worthless, lacking in value. So instead, we constantly live in this state of fight or flight. We have to fight every single day to do what we can to achieve these unattainable goals that have been pushed upon us, to fight for things we didn't ask to be fighting for, to fight for even just our basic human needs of unprocessed food, clean water, and safe and affordable shelter. But here's the truth. Our brains don't want to live in a constant state of fight or flight. It wants safety. It wants steadiness. It wants both feet firmly planted on the ground. It wants a soft place to rest our heads. It wants to feel the bark of a tree and the whisper of the wind. It wants to hold hands and take deep breaths of clean air. It wants to look at a sunrise and not at a screen. It wants to howl at the moon, not scoff under our breath about something someone at work said on Slack. It wants to run and spin and jump and sing, not sit for 8 hours as we act like we don't know why we've developed neck and back problems. It wants human connection, true, real human connection. It wants to see love and humanity with our neighbors, not short hits of dopamine while scrolling and seeing the wrongful death of yet another one of our siblings. I've known for a long time that something has been off in my life. I've known for a long time that what I've been told my life should be isn't the life I actually want. But I'm 35 now. I'm learning so much about myself and the world around me. The veil has been lifted and I can see clearly what has been going on to put us inside of this box, to keep us trapped in the hustle culture, to make us feel like we are constantly lacking and not good enough, to keep us needing more things we don't actually want, to keep us fighting against one another rather than leaning in with love, to keep us feeling small, hopeless, and unable to enact change in our lives, in our backyard, or within the world. It has taken me 35 years to understand that my nervous system has been shot since I started my first social media account in 2006 and bought my first smartphone in 2011. So as I said, I've made the decision to quit. I'm quitting the life that has been sold to me. I'm slowly untangling myself from this web of lies I've been stuck in for years. If we want anything to change in our lives, if we want to find the calm after the storm, we have to put in the work. We have to make the small, incremental changes every day until the unfamiliar becomes the familiar, until our brains recognize the new patterns as the one that feels safe, consistent, something it no longer wants to run from. I know that quitting this life I've built won't happen all at once. It takes time to rewire neural pathways that have been so solidly in place for so many years. But I am slowly in the process of quitting this life that has burnt me out, one that doesn't align with who I am or who I want to become. I hope you quit something that needs quitting in your life today. I hope you start allowing your brain to find familiarity and comfort in the way your body and soul needs. I know now what it feels like to calm my nervous system, and I don't want to drive myself back into the chaos. So yeah, I quit.